Modern men are becoming weaker by the day. More and more men are suffering from erectile dysfunction, mood dysregulation, man tits, and overall a poor quality of life.
More than 30 million men affected by erectile dysfunction each year.
Looking at a study published in 2022 by the Journal of Urology, we see that the average testosterone level of a man between 25 and 29 is 413. The average between 30 and 34 is 359, with the average declining year after year. Well, what if there was a way to dramatically increase testosterone levels without suppression, without decreasing fertility, and without any ball shrinkage? Well, there is. Not only is there a way to triple or even quadruple your natural testosterone, but it will enhance your fertility, enhance your penis health, and overall unlock new powers to male life. Let's take a deep dive into how I got my testosterone up to 996 without any exogenous hormones. Before I continue, guys, I'm not a doctor. Everything in this video is purely educational, and this is what I'm doing for my current research and experiments, which are designed for me. So let's get straight into the blood work showing my results. So I've been running this stack for about 3 months, and a little side note is that along this stack, I actually been using Anavar, a little bit of Anavar, about 5 milligrams, and that actually causes some suppression. So even with some suppression, my testosterone levels are still this high without any exogenous hormones. So from month 0 to month 1, my testosterone went up to 900 points, which is about a 400 point increase from my baseline. And you're probably thinking 500 is very low. Actually, my average baseline is about 600, but I was doing some Anavar, so that definitely caused some suppression. But anyways, for my strategy from month 0 to month 1, I got an increase of 400 points. You won't be able to see my total test because the test actually got messed up. But in month 2, you'll see that my testosterone jumped up another 100 points, making it 996, and my total test was about 18. And this is on top of me still using Anavar in a microdose series. And then going into month 3 of my experiment, my testosterone was 957. So about a 50 point drop, but overall I'm still very happy as I'm cruising around the upper 900s. And one side note, when it comes to testing, there's so many different things that could affect the testing, but I did my best to get tested once a month in the morning in a fasted state to have the most reliable and consistent results. So let's break it down into the 3-step strategy to actually achieve this. Step 1 is to max out your natural testosterone with healthy lifestyle factors and herbal test boosters. Just from doing that, I got mine up to 600 total T. Step 2 is to introduce hormone supporters like Enclomiphene Citrate, HCG, at the minimal effective dose to further increase your natural testosterone production. And then step 3 is to continue to use healthy lifestyle factors and other herbs to monitor any unwanted side effects from this. Because as you increase more testosterone, that means all hormones in your body will be increasing, and as well, it can affect many parts of your body. But all of this can be easily prevented just with good lifestyle factors and taking other herbs to help manage that. So let's go straight into the compounds being used besides healthy lifestyle factors. The first one is HCG. HCG is actually produced naturally in the placenta during pregnancy. And science has discovered that it actually mimics luteinizing hormone, which luteinizing hormone tells the testes produce more testosterone, more semen, and as well it helps with testicular health to keep you fertile. And because of this, HCG has been used for many years to help with bodybuilders recover from steroid cycles, to help men with secondary hypergonadism, which is low testosterone, and as well to help men with fertility. And one great thing about HCG is that your body responds well to it because it's naturally made in the body. On top of it, HCG has a longer half-life and is more stable than luteinizing hormone. Next is Enclomiphene Citrate, which was actually discovered from Clomid. It's one of the isomers of Clomid. And what this does is that Enclomiphene goes to your hypothalamus and actually blocks estrogen from hitting the hypothalamus. And what that does is that estrogen actually tells your body to stop making more hormones, more testosterone, and as well more estrogen. So by blocking it for a short period of time, your body thinks it has lower levels of estrogen, so it increases FSH and LH, which goes down to the body and tells the body to make more testosterone, as well helps with fertility and testicle size vaginal semen production. And one great thing about Enclomiphene Citrate is it has a short half-life, and on top of it, it causes a lower estrogen buildup than Clomid, because in Clomid, there was Enclomiphene Citrate and Zoomclonopine, and they figured out that Zoomclonopine actually caused the body to actually hold on to a lot more estrogen, where Enclomiphene still can do that, but at a much lower intensity. Next is the masculine medicine, which I believe to be the strongest natural test booster on the market. I make it myself and I take it myself. And what this is, it pretty much contains all the best organs, herbs, vitamins, and minerals for a man to have high testosterone. So in the organs, it has like testicle, heart, and liver. The herbs, it has Fidogia extract, grains of paradise, ginseng, shitterly, all those very powerful herbs. And vitamins and minerals has like vitamin D, boron, zinc, magnesium, glycinate, which all those are very important for having high testosterone. And as stated, it's all the best organs, herbs, vitamins, and minerals a man needs to have high natural T. Next is an herb called DIM, which is actually found naturally in the body, but high concentrations of DIM is found in vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. And what DIM does actually helps mimic estrogen in the body, which you're probably thinking, that's horrible, man, why would I be taking that? But actually, they figured out it actually helps reduce estrogen in men and overall help balance out your hormones, which I have found to be very beneficial at lowering my estrogen levels as my testosterone increases naturally without taking an AI. Next on the list is calcium D-Glucarate, which is found naturally in the body and as well found in some fruits and vegetables. But what this compound does is that it helps remove toxins, cancer-causing agents, and steroid hormones from the body. And this is actually commonly used in bodybuilding, but I believe to also be beneficial whenever increasing your hormones. Because when you first start doing this, you may get a large increase in testosterone, like 400 points, which that is gonna be making a lot more steroid hormones. So just to lean on the safer side, I added this in to help remove any stress on my kidneys. Now let's go into lifestyle, which I can make a very long video on, but I'm gonna try to cover the most important ones as fast as I can. Getting sunlight whenever you can for vitamin D production. Sleeping 8 to 9 hours a night if you can. Eating an animal-based diet. Moving your body every day either through sprints, heavy lifting, or low intensity cardio like walking and corrective training. And then to further add on, avoiding at all costs processed food, processed sugar, anything artificial, unfiltered water, and as well drugs and alcohol. All these things will cause unwanted inflammation and as well will lower your testosterone. And the last thing is to donate your blood every 3 to 6 months, which can be a great longevity hack for a man, especially if you're trying to max out your hormones. Now let's touch on some cautions that I wish I knew before starting this. The first most important thing is to get regular blood work done to monitor your hormonal levels, especially your estrogen levels. Because from month 0 to month 1, my estrogen over doubled, which is actually very natural because I was creating more testosterone, which as well creates more estrogen. But I was very thankful to catch that on my blood work. So what that told me is that I need to increase my DIM, which actually helps monitor and reduce estrogen. And because of that, month 2 and month 3, my estrogen levels actually started decreasing while my testosterone levels were increasing or cruising. Additionally, if someone has higher body fat percentage, there's a higher chance that your body will convert more of the hormone into estrogen. And at what body fat percentage does that happen? Well, if you're under 10% body fat, you have a very low conversion. If you're on 10 to 15% body fat, it's gonna be an average conversion. If you're above 15%, be very cautious because there'll be a high conversion of testosterone to estrogen. And depending on what category someone falls in will determine how much DIM to take. On top of it, the blood work will always best guide you. Example, from month 0 to month 1, I was only taking 300 to 600 milligrams of DIM. But after seeing my blood work, I increased it to up to 5 milligrams a day to really get my estrogen levels down as low as possible. Additionally, I did not want to use an AI, which is an aromatase inhibitor, so I wanted to see how much DIM could actually lower my levels. And so far, I'm very, very happy. And on top of it, DIM is a very safe herb. Up to 100 grams a day is gonna be completely fine. So use that to your advantage to make sure you're not producing too much estrogen in your body. So, is this dangerous? Because many of you might be thinking these are some crazy compounds, especially if you're new to this like ACG and clonopine. Relatively speaking, no, not at all, especially if you think about other hormonal treatments or just other things in general like eating fast food and binge drinking alcohol. So with that in mind, I believe this is actually extremely safe, if not anything, actually very healthy and powerful for a man, especially if one is not abusing the compounds and has healthy lifestyle factors. Where the most common side effects from this can be an increase in hair loss, and the reason why, as you may make more testosterone, you actually make more DHT, which DHT is a hormone that actually helps make you look like a man, but at the same time, it can cause hair loss if someone's prone to it. Which in my opinion, man, there are many ways to actually prevent hair loss in a natural way. So definitely check out my steroid cycle video because I go in depth over my hair loss protocol. The second most common side effect from this is having high levels of estrogen. So that can mean having man tits, getting gyno, being more emotional and sensitive, which is probably freaking you out. But again, man, if you have healthy lifestyle factors, doing the right amount of herbs and not abusing these compounds, so much of that can be avoided. I avoided all of it because I had healthy lifestyle factors, I got my blood work done, and I took the right amount of herbs. So let's go straight into the application of my stack, how much it costs me, and just overall my cycling and dosing. And this stack has come from over 3 months of tweaking the protocol to match my blood work, but overall I still think it's a great starting point as a researcher. Starting off with ACG. 500 IUs 3 times a week with no weeks off. Next, Enclomiphene Citrate at 12.5 milligrams 3 times a week, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Next, the masculine medicine at 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Next is DIM, which will help reduce estrogen levels anywhere from 1 to 10 grams a day, depending on blood work in the individual. And lastly, calcium D-Glucarate, which is gonna help protect the kidneys and flush out toxins and steroid hormones, 1 to 2 grams a day, again, depending on the individual and blood work. And as you see, a majority of the dosing of these herbs and hormone supporters will fluctuate depending on the individual and depending on the blood work, which is why I'm so passionate about getting monthly blood work, especially if someone's planning to experiment with more advanced hormonal supporters. So now let's go into how to go above 1,000 level tests, because that's my goal. I feel I'll be the happiest around 1,500 total tests, but we'll see. But anyways, many of you might be thinking, why not increase HCG and Enclomiphene Citrate? Which sure, I could do that, but one thing to keep in mind, the entire goal of this video is to maximize each compound to get the most power out of it, at the same time reducing all the side effects. And I believe by increasing ACG and Enclomiphene to get higher levels of a test, I'll go into the zone of actually getting side effects from those compounds. So my plan is to actually add in testosterone cypionate. I'm thinking at 100 milligrams a week. I'm not sure yet, but I'll be starting at a more conservative dose, see how my body responds, and work up. And the entire goal is to get the most amount of benefit with the least amount. And some of you might be thinking, Matthew, why not just take testosterone to get to levels of 1,500? But you must think, man, if all you take was testosterone and got to levels of 1,500, you would have a lot of side effects, such as not supporting your body, not having good fertility, not having testicle size, which is when the ACG and Enclomiphene comes in. And I really think the best way to maximize your hormones from a normal level to an enhanced level is to focus on everything. Good lifestyle factors, good herbs, good hormone supporters, and then outside hormones. Not one is the answer. All of them together have a synergistic effect, which I believe will create the most amount of power with the least amount of side effects. So stay tuned as I plan to experiment with testosterone cypionate, and I'll be showing all my future blood work and experiments of how to maximize each compound in the most powerful and safest way. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.